Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to HIMediaTV. I am your host, Evan from HIMediaTV, and as we stand on the edge of the Everdark Sovereign Darkdrift Knight being cycled out of rotation in for the Sentient Pest coming next. Oh my god, that's going to suck ass. We are here to do a brief review of the Darkdrift Knight, the Everdark Sovereign Fulgore. So, when it comes to this particular Night Lord, the this was the base version of this was a similar to Adele. It took me basically one uh no not no what's the phrase one try to get done. English is not Englishing today. When it comes to the Dark Drift Knight Everdark Sovereign, it was for those who saw my review of the Gaping Jaw Everdark Sovereign. This one was, for all intents and purposes, significantly more manageable, much more telegraphed, a lot like don't get me wrong, quite mobile, but very much doable. Uh, if the Gaping Jaw was a enemy that very much required a significant amount of effort from a backline, like Iron Eye, Recluse, things of that nature. The what's it called? This is very much a frontline centric uh boss fight. His melee attacks are very much they're fast, don't get me wrong, but they're telegraphed. And they're telegraphed in such a way that like if you are, relatively competent, you're gonna make it. No issues asked. It's a fucking true sound. Fuck that noise. I will say that my time fighting the Dark Drip Knight has been good. I've cleared it quite a few times. Not, in obscene amount, but enough to like be quite happy with, the things I bought off the currency. And I am generally pretty happy with my time spent on it. Now, that being said, I do want to talk a little bit about the boss fight itself. When it comes to the Dark Drift Knight, I don't quite remember. The original boss fight was such a nothing for me that I can't really remember everything going on, but I will in its base version. But I will talk a little bit about its normal version or its Everdark Sovereign form, rather. When it comes to this fight, he leads with a lot of knight centric, very much feels like Abyss from Dark Souls attacks, which is cool. But once you get him down to, I'd say, about a quarter of health, similar to how Adele kind of like went straight into like get fucked mode after a certain amount of damage was done. He switches almost entirely for a wholly melee damage package paired with a brief ranged option that basically is in the form of a nuke. It's very much he hops up, does this little floaty dance, and then says, "Legalize nuclear bombs." It's very much a get fucked nerd aspect, but very entertaining nonetheless. I will say that when it comes to the fight, when he's, even just running around, it's all very telegraphed, and if you're not a moron, you'll be fine. The Raider very much has a great time with this boss fight. His retaliate skill, as long if you're competent with it, of course, you're going to have a grand old time fighting shit. He's very much, very, very, very much, parryable in that regard. You like frontline characters are very much appreciated. You only really need the singular backline character to sort of get shit done, if I'm being perfectly honest. which is fine. Like, I don't necessarily have an issue with that, but I will say, you know, it's nice to be able to just pepper a boss around without necessarily having to deal with the irritation of, you know, like, listen, like, the aggro is managed appropriately, and I am very much supportive of that fact. Now, that being said, I will say that, the only way to really, like, deal with his nuke is to, like, run the fuck away, which, tracks and makes sense. All in all, I'm very happy with the Darkdrift Knight. His rewards are very, very good, and this felt like a breath of fresh air after dealing with the nonsense of the gaping jaw Everdark Sovereign. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. It was kind of a fucking nightmare to deal with him and everything else. I I I'm gonna be honest, I can't say I'm necessarily fond of the gaping jaw for a lot of reasons, so Fulgor has been a wonderful experience. I will say some of the bosses in the lead up to him feel like more of an issue to a degree. But by and large, I think it's fine. Nameless King is definitely a fun fight to do. Wormface in Day 1 usually sucks ass, but I like the fact that Outland Commander is a thing because aside from his spirit summons, he's relatively easy to deal with, at least compared to his base game counterpart, and that has more to do with the notions of, hey, I hate, like the movement in Elden Ring compared to Night Rain now. It just feels so much better, but that is a video for another day, for another video. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. I know that they're eventually going to add the Everdark Sovereigns as a normal thing, so if you haven't had a chance to fight Fulgor, I hope you get a chance to. It is a particularly compelling fight. I gotta be honest. I liked it a lot, and it was an enjoyable time. So definitely, when they bring it back, definitely give them a shot. Gaping Jaw can kind of suck ass, if I'm being honest, but that's just me. I'm the Sentient and Scream now. Have a good one, y'all.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to talk to me outside of this video, outside of live streams, or just join the community and be a part of it, you can do so at HIMediaTV/Discord. Discord links there. We'd love to have you. And given the financial situation of the economy right now, I know this is a tall ask, but if you have the scratch to spare, please consider donating and becoming a supporter at HIMedia.gg/tip. All of our perks are serviced through our Discord channel, including early access videos, exclusive videos, and more. Your generosity is a blessing, and $1 a month is a boon to my mental health. Thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate you, and have a great day.